So here we are, the XP Icon X. Now before I start this review, I'd just like to point out that Paul and myself both bought our machines from LP Detecting. We bought them with our own money. Out of the box, really easy to assemble. It's got the typical XP top hat system there, which locks the coil up nicely, puts just enough tension on that coil. Center carbon stem looks really nice, that all fits into place pretty well. It's got the ORX style plastic stroke fiberglass stem there, tried and tested product, isn't it really good? All in all, fit and finish I think on this machine is really quite good for the price. So okay, let's have a look at some of the key menus and features on this machine. Let's start this up, and it will run through all its necessary checks, and that's the version number 1.04. Now it should do a noise cancel and then we're good to go. It's an automatic noise cancel, and there it is. So here we go then. Let's talk about the top bar. Discrimination range along with your numbers there. Along here we have what's known as an expert menu. We'll talk about that in a bit. Depth meter, target ID. Along the side there we've got the hashtag, that's telling us we're in a factory default program, just there. And the bottom row we have some icons there. Some of them have got a little silvery tag to them, and that means there's an expert setting. So a long press on one of these keys will take us into a new menu. Again, we'll talk about that in a minute. Horseshoe button, on, off, or all metal. Cogwheel to access some expert features and a return menu. Ground balance or accept reject there. Plus and minus buttons for our sensitivity. I call it the burger button in the middle. That takes us to some new features. And the hashtag button, where we just scroll through the factory programs or the 6 custom user programs. And the padlock key here, that unlocks the USB charging plug. So okay, let's get into some of the settings. Plus and minus for the sensitivity. Self-explanatory, isn't it? I'm going to keep that quite low. And this will time out after about 6 seconds, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, there you go. I'm kind of disappointed that this Icon X doesn't have an XY screen, because that was one of the unique selling points of the Deus One, wasn't it? That XY screen was absolutely brilliant, but maybe you can't have an XY screen with a multi-frequency machine. So let's have a look at these factory default programs. Now I have one of my own custom programs saved into this machine, so I'll show it you now. So we hit the hashtag button just there. So the first one's filled, the second one's trashy filled, which really should be called field 2. The third one, can you see the head icon there? Now that's telling me that's a custom program, so that's my save custom program. Number 3 is forest. Number 4 is park. Number 5 is wet beach. Number 6 is beach and surf, because when you're in the surf, the salt water going over the search coil can make the machine think it's a signal because it's conductive. So the beach and surf just eliminates those false signals. So if we press and hold this, we're going backwards. So you can go round on the carousel or you can go backwards. So we're back to program number 1, which is filled. So let's have a look at this cogwheel button. Now the cogwheel button returns us back to the main menu, but it's also got some other features. It accesses the top menu, which is called expert menu, and you can do a frequency scan using this button. So let's have a little look at this top menu by using the cogwheel button. As you'll see there, volume, you can turn the volume up and down using the minus keys. Backlight, you can have it 60 seconds or adjust it to whatever you want. This one is your update button, so you can update this machine. I'm sure there'll be lots of updates for it. We all know XP love an update, don't we? But for me, the updates have got a little bit tedious, so I'm hoping there's not too many updates for this detector, you know, because you start to learn a machine and really get to know it, and then they update it and you have to start again. Okay, they add more features and things like that, but sometimes new features get added and other features tend to lose their magic. So I'm not a massive fan on lots and lots of updates these days. Maybe in the past I was, things change, don't they? Go terrain, headphone pairing, pinpoint probe pairing, and coil pairing. So that's your top menu. And when we're in the detect menu, if we press and hold the cogwheel down for a few seconds, it will do a noise cancel. So that's your noise cancel shortcut key. So let's have a look at this, what I call the burger button at the bottom. Now what does this do? It's another return to the user interface button, and you can access the bottom menu, which I also call an expert menu, or it's a pinpoint button. Make a note, some of the bottom icons have got a little tag to them, and that means there's an expert menu by using a long press. Here we go. First one is tones. So you've got 2 tones, 3 tones, 5 tones, pitch tone, or full tones, and it gives you a noise if you can't go any further, obviously. Let's go one more. Disc, so you can turn this discrimination range up or down, but it's got a shiny tag with it. We can long press that, and we can then get into the notch menu, so we can notch out various discrimination ranges. Let's go one more, and this is the iron volume, where we can go up and down on the iron volume 0 to 10. One more. Frequency, now you can either go from multi-frequency up to 40 kilohertz, or you can select mono frequency. See how that's timed out there? So we press it again, so we can change our frequency channels by going up and down. This is still multi-frequency. If we want mono, it's a long press, and you'll see mono come up just there. So you can change the mono frequencies from 28 down to about 4. I think there's 3 choices on that one. One more, we have audio type. Now this is where it gets a little bit interesting, and I must say I'm a little bit disappointed with this one. So let's just touch on these audio types. We've got 1 to 6. Now what do they actually mean? Well, some audio types have got morphing, some audio types have got a square tone, some audio types got PWM, some audio types have got enhanced audio, which means there's very little audio response, probably 6 or 7, and some audio types have got standard, and that has got some audio response. It's all a little bit confusing, and there's no information about what setting you're on in the screen. You've just got 1 to 6, and you've probably got to carry this chart around with you if you really want to know. But on the other hand, you'll probably find a favourite and stick with it. Personally, I would have liked to have had the square tone with no morphing, but there doesn't seem to be an option for that. Let me read out what they are. Number 1 is PWM standard, no morphing. First the nail. Now the coin. Number 2, square standard audio with morphing. Let's go into the full tone audio theme 2. A nail. Coin. Number 3, PWM standard with morphing. Okay, so that's your first 3 tones. Now as we go 4, 5, 6, the tones turn to enhance, which means there's no audio response to it, or a very high audio response I should say, something like 6 or 7. So there's no perception of depth. Deep targets and shallow targets all have the same audio intensity. So here we go, 4, 5 and 6. Number 4, PWM with enhance, so there's no morphing. Number 5, square morphing enhanced. Number 6, PWM morphing enhanced. Good luck with that one. I like the way that the charging clip has been revised. That's a really good idea. A nice simple slide on charging clip. And when we're talking about sliding on, I think this RC clip has also been revised because it's very, very snappy. It just goes in there and it's locked in. So obviously time will tell, will the tangs wear, will it start falling off? But looking at it now, I think this is a pretty good modification to the Icon X. Ground, you've got the standard ground balance. You've got auto tracking and you've got the expert, the pro modes, but they recommend you keep that on standard and don't ground balance if you haven't got mineralized soil. Let's go one more. Reactivity, how fast do you want the machine to run? Up to 6 there. It says in the manual that there is no silencer feature on the Icon X, it's all automatic. Now, is that a variable automatic silencer? Does it constantly adjust or is it fixed? So that's our bottom menu really, quite simple. Accept, reject, and your ground balance, your pumping. Pinpoint is a long press and you get into the pinpoint there. Okay, that's enough. So your horseshoe button, if you press that and look at the top discrimination range, you've now taken out all the iron rejection and ground rejection, so you can hear everything in the all metal. And you press this padlock key to remove the side charging button there, which has got a USB-C. On your three-way charging cables, there's one clearly marked data, and this is the cable you use when updating the Icon X. Coil construction, very, very good. It's got that lovely lightweight resin inside the coil. A coil cover is supplied, although it is literally millimeters thick. IP68 approved, that's 5 meters, 16 feet submersible using the bone conductive headphones which aren't supplied. The only problem is if you're going in any form of water with this machine, you will need the aerial kit, and the aerial kit is supplied with the Icon X. It's a little bit cumbersome, but just bear that in mind. Even if you're going in a few inches of water, you will need an aerial kit with this because the Bluetooth signal doesn't travel through water. XP have taken a big risk by dipping their toe into this price range of metal detectors because it really is a saturated market. There's lots of choices out there and each manufacturer offers some really cool, unique features. You've got the Minelab Xterra Elite, you've got the Minelab Vanquish 560, you've got the Routers Versa, you've got the new Quests what are coming out there, really good machines. I've been testing one of them, so there's a lot to choose from. What don't I like about this machine? I don't like the audio. I think XP are going in perhaps the wrong direction with this morphing and stereo thing. I just like a yes or no. I like things simple. 11-inch coil, not the best choice for an entry-level machine, I don't think, because I think XP's work better with a 9-inch coil, but you may think differently. The interface is nice and clear. The icons at the bottom, again, very, very small, but you may have better eyesight than me. Build quality is absolutely fantastic. So it really is a case of choose your poison, isn't it? And if you go onto the LP website, you can see the full range of different manufacturers there, you really can. So there we have it. That's my initial honest thoughts about the XP Icon X. But you never get a true feel for a machine until you've been out there in the field and dug some targets. So that's what we're going to do next. So why not join Paul and myself out in the field, and we're going to be putting our Icon X's to the test. See you soon. Bye bye.